Hi guys, Nicky Joe is here, and this is a small review of LiveGamer Extreme by AverMedia. This is an external capture card, and they say that it is an awesome replacement for everything they produced before. As they say, it's continuation of LiveGamer HD, the one capture card that started working for me 2 years after I bought it. And the one we're talking about today looks neat, awesome, and feels really good in your hands. They also were advertising it very aggressively and showed it everywhere where they could. And I decided to take a risk and buy this item, despite internal voice telling me not to do it. In the package there should be a USB 3 cable, which Amazon seller stole from me. If I get it correctly, it is a cable for PlayStation, a component cable for old video systems, a few papers about customization and explicit key, which nobody will ever use. There is also a manual on several languages and something else, some kind of white paper, nobody cares about it. On the backside there is a port for USB 3, component input, and also HDMI pass-through input and output. By the way, thanks Amazon, I had to buy this cable on my own. There are also AUX in and out inputs on the front side, but nothing interesting else. And now let's see what happens when we launch Rec Central, the application that allows us to work with this capture card. While standing by, it is only 5% of my AMD 8-core CPU, but when you do any action with it, it jumps up to 20. Despite that, the application gives you pretty flexible settings for a new streamer or YouTuber, and even gives you some presets you can use. It also allows you to choose codec, but let's talk about it a bit later. Now I'm showing you video settings of this capture card. You can select only one format, MP4, but other settings are pretty common and you won't be having any problems with those. There are commonly used values for pretty everything. And now we're getting back to the fun part, codecs. I am using an AMD based system and it allows me to pick from default AMD codec and H.264, which is a hardware codec which is supposed to be on board of this capture card. This is what its name means. But when we're starting to use this codec, look how motherfucking awesome lot of CPU usage this Rec Central. Blah. God damn it, 50% for recording your screen, for recording something that is going to HDMI input. What the fuck? Hardware codec, I repeat, hardware codec, which is supposed to decrease usage of your CPU. It gets a bit better when you're using AMD codec, the one that is placed on my video card, but guess what? At the same time I'm using the same codec in my OBS, and it uses only 5% of my CPU. So as you can see, the software not only lies about codecs it has, it is also very unoptimized. I have no clue how will it work on Intel and Nvidia systems and how it can be used. Overall graphics design of this thing is pretty good. There is even streaming function that allows you to place a web camera or image or even a web page to your scene. But it is very primitive and won't compare with OBS. And as you can imagine, the remaining settings won't cover this issue of poor performance and shitty lies they tell us to force us to buy this capture card. For quite some time I used to communicate with support, both Russian and English speaking. I was trying to find out why this capture card works so bad, why it uses so much CPU when it shouldn't. And they said me that my system doesn't match minimal recommendations to work with this platform. To work with this hardware encoder, my system is too weak. What the fuck? What kind of idiots they think we are when we buy this item to get H.264. Russian support, a man who helped me with my LiveGamer HD, said absolutely the same thing. He just demonstrated me that this capture card doesn't have a simple hardware encoder, and it uses the ones that are placed in the system, and uses them really bad. Honestly, I have no idea how to use this card after having it for 2 months. For hardware video encoding I can use my video card, and for capture purposes I have superior Blackmagic Design Intensity Pro 4K. By the way, I contacted English speaking support twice to find out why this happens. They weren't able to tell me why, if I launch Rec Central with working OBS, there is a flashing blue screen in Rec Central. For some reason, they weren't able to tell me that OBS uses it in exclusive mode. This is quality of their support, guys. But even more, they weren't able to tell me why, if I launch Rec Central 3, my speakers and headphones start producing some noise. Here, you can clearly hear the sound. If I turn system audio off, it goes off. So for me this capture card is a big disappointment, which isn't able to compete with its ancestor, LiveGamer HD, which is still pretty useless for me, frankly speaking. So if you're going to buy this capture card, keep it in mind, you won't be able to use it for anything but transferring video to OBS or XSplit. There is no hardware encoding they're bragging about, and your PC without it will be able to do a better job in encoding than with it. So you'd better find a cheaper and better solution for capturing and streaming video than this piece of fucking shit. My name's Sneaky Joe, and if you like this video, perform YouTube routine please. Have a nice day.